That was like 5 turns. How can they summon them so quickly again? That's ridiculous. Alright, this is fine. This is okay. This is nothing to worry about. Cue the video. Welcome to Civilization 6. I am your host Sage with ShibariJello, and we're going to show you why the Deity difficulty scenarios are way too easy. Starting with the easiest scenario of all, Jadwiga's Legacy. Now, the hardest part about the scenario is the fact they don't tell you the hardest part of the scenario. All it tells you to do is get the highest score by the end of the game. Now, they want you to think this scenario is difficult because you will be bombarded by barbarian hordes throughout the entire 60 turns. They'll spawn in the marshes, they'll spawn in the mountains, they'll spawn in your neighbor's house. Knock knock, who's there? It's the barbarians at your door because they're spawning inside of your house too. The other thing they want you to believe about the scenario is that war is the only answer. Spoiler alert, it's not. And although Jadwiga is a playable Civ in Civ 6, she is not playable in this scenario.
She kinda bad though.
Instead, you play as one of 3 houses, all of which have identical bonuses, with the only exceptions being that the Volhynian nobility can train Cossacks and gets a second pikeman every time you train one, and the Polish nobility gets a second knight or winged hussar. Now, between the barbarian assaults and the unique unit bonuses they give you, you would think this is a very war-based campaign. It is not, though, because what we're going to do is play as Lithuania, which they get a bonus to the most powerful unit of all, the Builder. So why don't you have that barbarian in your kitchen come bring you a drink, kick your feet up, like this video, and then watch as I prove that Jadwiga's Legacy on Deity difficulty is the easiest scenario in Civ 6. So the year is 1384, and a 10-year-old girl has just become king of Poland. Oh, and what a beautiful kingdom it is. As you can see, there's not a single barbarian in sight. We have our settlers and people over here. Now, I know what you're thinking, and you're thinking that this is a wonderful spot to settle some new cities. It has plenty of resources to build a great empire. But we're not going to do that. We are going to make a mad dash to the bottom southwestern corner of the map. Now, you might be wondering why we're doing that, but it is simple, because the real difficult part of this game is you must protect Vienna, for if Vienna falls, the world falls. So onward, let us go. Alright, it is only the second turn of the game, and the barbarians are already reaching for my neck. They took out one of my scouts. It was just a boy and his dog out there in the world, and they did not appreciate his existence, and they decided to murder him. Thankfully, we don't really need the scouts for anything, but it does show you, even though this scenario is very easy, Deity difficulty is not. Alright, so it's 1445, Jadwiga has been dead for about 45 years, and we have just now gotten our first city. Now, even though we spent the first 20% of the game without a city, that doesn't matter, because we know something the other teams don't know. And that's how hopeless it is to fight the barbarians off, because no matter how many you kill, there's always going to be more. So rather than build up our armies of pikemen, Cossacks, winged hussars, and such, we're going to do something much more clever, which is focus on our science, culture, and city-states. Because just like trying to escape from a bear in the woods, we do not need to be faster than the bears, we only need to be faster than our friends. Who, even with the head start of 13 turns, aren't that hard to catch, actually. This scenario specifically uses the standard scoring system for Civilization 6, which means we really just want to push our science, culture, and growth as much as we can to get an easy win. And while we are building the greatest cities Poland has ever seen, we will use our friends as a buffer zone, a defense against the barbarians, the same way you use your phone as a buffer between you and your relatives at holidays. Alright, we're about a third of the way into the game. Everyone else is getting into position to set up their second cities. Fucking red team already set one up next to me. That's fine. Whatever, doesn't matter. They're also getting attacked by the Golden Horde, the Mongolians coming through. Blue team's setting one up by where we would have started. If only we could have warned those poor bastards, because I have to deal with the Teutonic Knights and the Rus. But we have a very specific spot we need to place our second city. Our first one's great, but our second one, that's where the key to this whole game is. Right down here where the Janissaries show up to wreck Vienna. See, this city is a wall, this is our fortress, this is our rock, and it's what is going to hold us through and get us a win. And we establish it right on time as well, because as you can see, the Ottoman Empire has arrived. So the other thing you can tell is that if we hadn't settled this city right here, no one else would have. And then the Ottoman Empire would just constantly bombard Vienna until eventually it falls, because they cannot hold off the endless wave of barbarians. So as you can see here, Vienna has 4 units right now set up, ready to fight. And they're not weak units either, they're actually pretty decent units, but they're going to crumble pretty quick, because the Janissaries are just that good. Which is the same problem you run into if you try to play this the way they intend you to play, much like my teammates here are playing, which is to train a bunch of units, send them into war, die, rinse, repeat, use all of your production on units, all your money on units, instead of focusing on actually winning the game. So what we're going to do instead of all of that, we're going to rely on the city's fortifications. Every city you build in this scenario comes with ancient walls. And I know what you're thinking, oh, but ancient walls aren't that good. Spoiler, they are. You see, all walls in Civ 6 follow the same formula, which is to take the strength of your strongest unit, minus 10, and then plus 3 for each level of wall. Meaning our cities are about as good at shooting people down as the crossbowmen are. But not just our cities, also our encampment districts. Speaking of which, let's fast forward to that. Alright, it is now turn 27. Jadwiga's been dead for about 100 years. And we're going to buy up this square right here. We're going to build an encampment district on it. Doing so will basically turn this into the hot gates from 300, and it will force them to go past both our encampment and city in order to get to Vienna, giving us the most opportunity to shoot them down on the way. And even though it will take 3 turns to build that encampment, it's not to worry, the Wiener soldiers will hold them off. And yes, I did look it up. People from Vienna are a bunch of Wieners. Our encampment is finished, and just in time too, because all of the Wiener soldiers have fallen, other than one lone crossbowman. And as you can see, it's very easy to just rinse through all of the Janissaries as they're forced to funnel right between our city and encampment district, thus making the scenario very easy. And now that Vienna is well defended, we can focus on more important things, like winning the scenario, by building a university in Vilnius. This will assist us in getting more great people, more technologies, and every building gives us an extra point, which is nice. I will then move my pikemen into attack mode down to Trakai, and end my turn. Your move, Yugi boy. Oh no, more Ottomans have spawned right on top of me. Whatever will I do? And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we have repelled an attack by the Ottomans. Having a city and an encampment down here makes it very easy. But that said, we did lose a builder, and we will make them pay with their lives. Oh, it looks like they did not appreciate my threat because they have summoned more men already. Gee, that was like 5 turns. How can they summon them so quickly again? That's ridiculous. Alright, this is fine. This is okay. This is nothing to worry about. Cue the music. Alright, with that out of the way, let's go back to Vilnius. We could build a cathedral. That'll take us 3 turns, but only get us 1 point. If we build a settler, though, we can get a new city up, and that'll give us 5 points. Ooh, we've also unlocked a great person. Let's see who... Corn! Alright, good. We will settle him right on into our commercial hub and get us 175 gold and 2 envoys. Now with the city-states, the envoys, the only one that matters to us is Prague. The other ones, I don't really care. I mean, they give you bonuses to production and gold and whatever, but Prague gives us bonuses to our culture, civics, great people, all the things we need in order to win this scenario. It is turn 47, and we are upon the precipice of greatness. This is the last turn that matters, because we are about to drop down our 3rd city, and with that, we will gain 5 points, we will take the lead on the game, and we will never give it up. We will have it for the last 12 turns, and that will be game over. Now I know what you're thinking. Sage, how could you possibly know that you're going to keep the lead for the rest of the game? Well, that's quite simple, because I know all of their production is going towards units. Units don't get you shit for points, alright, and this is a points game. As well as knowing that our builders have already put us ahead when it comes to production in each of our cities, so we're able to put up more districts and buildings. Now that said, there are still 12 turns to go, so let me know in the comments below if you think that the AI will decide that this is Deity and I don't get to win, because there's a good chance that it will do that. Turn 48, and we have taken the lead, but only by a point, so we'll see if the AI can do anything to stop me. Honestly, for being a Deity scenario, this is incredibly easy. I don't know how someone could possibly struggle with this. Yeah, it certainly didn't take me 3 tries to realize Vienna had to survive to win the game. So I have a confession to make. I thought it'd be funny to go back into the game and get some B-roll footage to really make that joke land. The problem was I couldn't even fail it on purpose. Now, to be honest, I'm not exactly sure how I won it in this one, because literally all I did was build cities. I put up 10 cities, I defended them from barbarians, I didn't really build armies or anything, and I still managed to win. And I don't know how. I didn't do shit to defend Vienna. I didn't touch Vienna. Vienna was alone the entire game, and they still managed to survive somehow. All I did was try to see how high I could get my score before I thought the game would end because Vienna fell, but it just never did. This scenario was just so absurdly easy that I literally won it trying to fail it. Now, if you have any idea how I managed to do nothing and have Vienna last through the entire game, let me know in the comments, because I have no idea what I did on this one. It just kinda worked, I guess. Back to the video. So at this point, I can show you more clips or go into detail about how I dismantled this scenario, or brag about how great I am at civilization, or show you more montages of me just obliterating the barbarians. But I don't think I need to do any of that. I think I could save us all a lot of time. We'll just skip to the end, and I'll show you the good part. Spoiler, the good part is me winning. We have now made it to the final turn of the game. let's check in and see how we're doing. Just as expected, we have held the lead for the last 12 turns. Now that said, they did make it further than I expected them to, but they still had no chance of catching up to us. Also, shout out to the red team. Earlier I was annoyed they settled so close to me up north, but it's actually worked out in my favor because they keep blocking the barbarians, using their own face, of course, but still, they get credit for it, protecting me and saving me from having to build units like I'm some kind of plebeian out here, rather than focusing on my science and culture and beneficial rankings. However, speaking of building units like some kind of plebeian, Nesvius is under siege. We've built some wing hussars to try to defend it from the barbarians, but they're having little to no effect. But too bad for them, it is too little too late. I have already won the game and there is nothing they can do to stop me. We will end our turn and win the game. Ah, shit. Well, okay, I forgot you actually have to play turn 60. That's my bad. Alright, one more. Alright, this time I mean it. Now we will end the game and allow Sean Bean to serenade us our victory speech. Man, it really takes forever to get through like an off turn. What do you mean you captured a unit? Oh my... Alright, it's fine. It's okay. It's fine. Sean Bean will be here any second now. Hell yeah, we did it. Alright, bring on the beam.
From our humble beginnings ages ago, have you forged a civilization that has withstood time itself.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we have beat Jadwiga's Legacy on Deity difficulty in Civilization 6, and it was definitely the easiest scenario in the game. Or was it? You'll just have to find out on the next episode of Sage Plays Civilization or something. I don't really know what to call this. Yeah, we'll definitely work on the title, but you won't want to miss the next videos where I rule Egypt, get rich in Australia, and even beat death itself. That one's especially spicy. We also do other games and videos and streams and things you don't want to miss, so make sure to subscribe. Or don't, I'm not your mom. This is Sage with ShibariJello, and I'll see you next time.